This professional development video is aimed to inform and increase teachers' and parents' knowledge of proprioception and cooperative play in Grade 6 students. Activities are developmentally age appropriate and links can be made to the Australian Health and Physical Education curriculum. Proprioception is a concept of knowing where your body is in space and the ability to safely manoeuvre around your environment. Proprioceptive input is vital for a child's development because it helps them to feel a sense of self, aids in regulation, and promotes success in both fine and gross motor activities. It is also important as it helps a child be aware of their personal space and how to appropriately engage with their peers without overstepping boundaries. Agreeing with Bradford, Hickson and Evans 2014, cooperative games emphasise participation, challenge and fun rather than defeating someone. The primary aim of cooperative play is to form relationships between students and increase learning techniques through a social link. These games involve students working together to achieve a common goal and result in students feeling responsible for their own effort and efforts of the group. When assessing the students, teachers must be aware of any possible developmental delays. In these games, children with proprioceptive dysfunction may be unaware of where their partner is and are more likely to accidentally run into another person or team, thus increasing their likelihood of becoming untethered.
The aim of the game is to roam the playing space tethered to your partner whilst trying to disturb and untether other teams without untethering yourselves. This game develops cooperative play and proprioception whilst incorporating an element of fun for the students. A playing area of approximately half a basketball court is designated using several witches' hats. Students are to pair up and join themselves together by a Velcro strap. In their teams, students roam the playing space and attempt to split apart other teams whilst not becoming untethered themselves. This can be achieved by physically going through their tether or invading their space, forcing them apart. However, there are risks with both getting too close to another team that may lead to you and your partner being split and when attempting to split others. If a pair becomes untethered, they should proceed to the designated area of the court and await another team to become separated. Once another team becomes separated, you then reattach to a new partner and re-enter the game. This is going to be so funny.
The split team must move to the outline. Students were continually encouraged to use teamwork and were praised for working well as a team. Cooperative play is developed by swapping partners and working successfully with their new partner. This game is made fun by having an objective that involves and motivates students to want to succeed. The game can be modified by shortening the length of the tether, making it more challenging. This game develops proprioception through spatial awareness and teamwork. Teams need to be aware of the space between them and opposing teams, as well as between their partner, so they do not become untethered. In line with the disability standards for education, students with a disability should be able to achieve educational standards equal with their peers as long as necessary adjustments are made. Adjustments to the practical delivery of PE-based activities are necessary to ensure those with a physical disability have equal access to learning.
This game is called Rob the Nest and it is aimed at ages around grade 5-6. The aim of the game is to gain the most beanbags in your team's hoop while trying to remain attached to your partner. The game is a fun way to develop cooperative play and proprioception. This game develops cooperative play through the involvement of cooperation, acceptance and fun. As students work towards a common goal within a partnership as well as part of a team, it not only develops teamwork cooperation but gives each student the feeling of inclusion and acceptance. The game can be altered very easily, which makes it fun to play for a range of people with different skill sets. It involves teamwork, which children in grades 5 and 6 enjoy, as well as constant movement and the chance to target other teams. There are many benefits that can come from incorporating cooperative play into sporting games such as this one. For example, a game like this can benefit students who may be less physically skilled, as it is easy for each student to experience success in unfamiliar roles. Agreeing with Hargrove's article released in 2008, proprioception can be developed in lots of different ways. For example, tactile, visual and auditory awareness are all being developed without knowledge, as the students always need to know where their partner is to remain tethered to them. Students playing this game are always developing their spatial awareness because they are gaining an understanding of where their own bodies are in the environment. Players also develop a sense of where they are in relation to other people around them, even when they are not in direct sight.
This game can be played in many different environments, depending on what space you have access to. However, the teacher must inform students of any hazards in the particular area. In this playing area, students must be warned about the fire hydrant so they don't run into it. Students were regularly reminded that they had to know where their partner was before they moved. It was reinforced that each person could only retrieve one puck at a time. They received a lot of encouragement from their teacher as well as their partner. If you and your partner become detached, you must stand still with your hands on your head for 5 seconds. The peer helper was reminded to use many hand gestures.
There are various adaptations that can be made to this game. For example, bringing the hoops closer together to decrease the space they need to cover to make it easier for less skilled students or those in wheelchairs, or putting hoops further apart or varying the running styles to hopping or skipping to make it more complex.
The aim of Wipeout is to run through the combined obstacle courses in the quickest time. The pair with the fastest time wins. If you become untethered from your partner during the game, you start the course again. In relation to proprioception, knowing where you are relative to your partner and obstacles is vital, as becoming untethered can lead to a time disadvantage. When partnering up the students for the course, the teacher must make a decision on whether or not to partner a student of a high proprioceptive and cooperative play skill level with someone who is equal to them or someone who may struggle with the course. Agreeing with Was, Harland and Mercer, partnering a low-level student with a high-level student may increase the lower level's ability to successfully manoeuvre the course. However, it may lead to the higher-level student becoming frustrated with his partner. Knowing how each student may react is key. You will have a greater understanding of a student's level of proprioception and cooperative play as you have judged them against the rubric in 2 prior games.
Students were reminded to use communication with their partner as they made their way through the obstacle course. Teamwork was yet again encouraged in this activity. If students can successfully complete the first obstacle course without breaking apart, they can try the more advanced obstacle course. The same rules apply in this obstacle course. If you become detached from your partner, you must go back to the start. Students were reminded to think about their partner before they moved on to the next thing. Safe matting has been placed around each piece of equipment in the obstacle course. Students were reminded to be aware of where their partner was at all stages of the obstacle course. Students were encouraged to use a lot of communication.
Modifications can be made to the courses to increase difficulty or decrease difficulty depending on your class group. The course can be made easier, for example, by removing the hurdles and the jumping aspect of the course and replacing it with extra cones with an added movement skill. The course can be made more difficult by adding obstacles that require higher difficulty movement skill or add difficulty to you and your partner being tethered together.
This rubric assesses specific components of proprioception and cooperative play development. It can be used either while students are participating in the games or upon reflection at the completion of each game. Students are to be graded from 1 to 5 on each criterion. If they receive a 1, they have not met expectations, whereas if they receive a 5, they are exceeding expectations. Justin is successfully able to move in an effective and skillful way in which he doesn't need to observe his actions to split the other teams apart. On this criteria, he received a 5 as he exceeded expectations. Justin is annoyed and frustrated at his teammate as the tether broke. Therefore, he must work on improving his behaviour, and in the rubric only just meets expectations in this criteria. Justin redeems himself on this section of the rubric as he works well with all students and he's been a great peer tutor for the student with a hearing impairment. In this game, he consistently showed positive social interactions, therefore on this criteria exceeds expectations.